The city announces our arrival with the pouring rain. From its highest levels, the walls glisten beneath the downpour, making everything look clean and smooth. But here on the ground, the stones are stained with grime and mire. Our procession moves against the flow of the faithful. People weave around us, streaming out from their beleaguered jobs at stalls and factories to bear witness. It's a parade of the downtrodden.
Spare a throne, sister.
Destitute women, penniless men.
Please, anything helps.
What are they wearing?
A little flashy, don't you think?
My breath turns to smoke as I exhale. The air is frigid. I notice onlookers holding in their vapors as we pass. They've never seen our like before. The Adepta Sororitas, daughters of the Emperor.
I've never seen so many people.
Keep your eyes open. They'll rob you blind.
Sister Liana, what do you know about the city?
I heard that the city's generators are prone to blackouts. Ardell, is that true?
Every hour on the hour.
What do the people do when the generator stops?
They keep on living. There is work to do.
A young girl steps out of the crowd and stops in front of Beatrice. She's no older than 10.
Hello, child.
Are you here to protect us?
From what? Hey! Grab her! She took my seal!
Well done, Beatrice, the Emperor's finest.
Leave her alone.
Liana, take the lead to the chapel. We have an example to set.
Yes, sister.
She'll pawn it off before you find her.
Sister Ardell, I'm sorry. I really mean it.
It's all right. Stay in line. Go on. The smell of the streets summon up old memories. Gone are the careful brick and mortars of the basilicas. Here, houses are rigged together from cinder blocks and sheet metal, rusty sheds and ancient stone. It comes back to me. The paths, the shortcuts, all the places to step out and catch someone. All right, that's enough! Hand over the seal!
I need it!
For what?
The monsters.
The child's eyes snap wide, and she looks back at me with a wordless dread. I hand her a seal from my hip, in exchange for the one clenched in her fist. Take this one. It's stronger, I promise. Go on. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, Ardell. Just like you remembered.
No, another?
I heard the church is behind it.
The pastor's homily is about to start. Did you find the seal?
I have it here.
Losing her holy relic to a child. She makes us look like simple enforcers.
I'll speak with her.
Ardell, where is your seal?
Must have lost it.
Ardell, what do you want us to do about the crowds?
Warning shots only. We just got here. Inside the chapel, the pews are empty, except for a few attendants. At the head of the altar stands the pastor. His robes are pallid, their edges stained yellow. He leans over a Vox recorder, and I hear his voice crackle over the speakers outside.
To express my disgust. Your failure of community, of the bonds of neighborly duty, are damning to all who have given from the heart. When this world was besieged, an entire generation was lost, but your holy ecclesiarchy came to lift you up with time to heal. You should have rebuilt. Instead, you stumbled. You chased luxuries. You sought temporary pleasures. And now, like a good parent, I must instill consequences to steer you right. This world has not provided its tithe of bodies to the Imperium. And because of that, I am announcing a new series of benefactions. Without children, I trust you will give more compassionately. What did you think of the sermon?
An eloquent message, Reverend.
Yes, it was. Who's this?
Beatrice Dawn, Your Grace. My sisters outside are Liana Crest and Abigail Pike.
Only 4 of you?
Yes?
What are 4 women going to do?
What did you want from us?
I wanted an army. A real army. Black Templar. Not... this. You don't like it. The empty nave out there. The empty pews. The truth is, I can't go outside. I can't let anyone in.
Why not?
These are cruel streets. Violence is common. But what we have here was unique. Here, we've laid them in the crypt.
By the throne!
Inside the stagnant crypt, we are treated to the sight and smell of over a dozen brutalized corpses.
Hands and feet were flayed from the points to the elbows and knees. Lips cut away to expose his teeth and gums. Eyelids torn or eyes removed.
How many?
16. All members of the faith.
It's not just the church, is it? How many?
He said 16.
82.
Thrones.
We will speak with the local law enforcement.
You will stay on the grounds and attend me, woman. Whoever did this is attacking not just people, they're attacking my words. These were some of my most devoted clergy. I summoned you here to guard me and this chapel. You leave here, and there will be consequences. Is that clear?
Does he not notice that there is an epidemic? Who could have done this?
I fear that I know the answer to Beatrice's question. I can't call them by their name even after all these years. The pastor can't either. Come, let's begin our watch.
Do something!
You gonna stand there all day?
Their blood is on your hands!
Word carries quickly that we've arrived. Crowds come to the edge of the chapel to see us, but none approach. We stand guard at the front of the chapel for several hours. Some onlookers get bored and move on, but one group stays entrenched.
Do you see any familiar faces, sister?
No,
How long has it been?
over a decade now.
A decade since you abandoned this mud hole? Sounds like cause for celebration.
I didn't abandon it. I was sent off for safety.
By who?
An uncle.
Oh. Well, should we go visit him? It might be nice to see someone you know after all these years.
No, I doubt he's even still alive.
They do nothing for the people.
Hey, how about you do something? People are dying out there.
I get the impression that they're not fond of the pastor.
They're not fond of us either.
You'd think one of them would come up and talk to us by now.
They'd be reckless to try. Hey! Speak your piece!
Hey, sisters! I've got your throne right here! come sit on it!
I'll have words with them.
Abigail, stop. Let me try. Liana, with me. I approach the man at the head of the crowd. His head is shaven bald, and his features are unremarkable. But his eyes carry a steely determination. Behind him is the little girl from earlier. She carries my seal and stares at me as she huddles behind him.
Father?
Finally decided to come down from your throne.
Pardon the wait. It's a long way down.
Oh, you're not one of them. That's refreshing. Sister of the people, everyone.
Look at the hair.
What brings you home?
The pastor summoned us
Brought you to shut us up.
to keep the peace.
His peace, not the Imperial's.
Who are you?
Adrian Curve, my lady.
Not what I'm asking.
You mean who am I to talk to you? Just a man of the people. One who's not thrilled with the pastor turning a blind eye to his flock.
His words are the will of the Emperor. You will follow them.
You know, last week, he said that the solution to our children being skinned was to start having more. Maybe it's his turn to pick up the slack. You know how many bastards he has around here? You could help him, if you like.
Bite your tongue.
I touch a nerve?
He's not her type.
Is she yours?
Liana blushes at the comment, and I look down to the young girl. She clings to Adrian. She is your daughter.
Yes. This is Emma.
We're here to help, Emma.
And how are you going to do that? Standing around that chapel all day. There's a murderer out there.
Time for talking is over.
Are you the victims' families?
Some lost their children recently. Others, a long time ago during the culling.
The name makes my skin crawl. I promise you, we're here for you. The Emperor protects.
You promise?
Not a hair on her head will be harmed. My word is my bond.
And what about the rest of us?
Ardell! Ardell!
How old were you at the time, sister? During the culling?
I was of age.
Then you cheated death. The Emperor smiles upon you.
Ardell! The sky!
I succumb to Abigail's shouting and look at the sky. It's
Fire!
What do we do?
We're duty bound to the pastor.
You promise.
Our hands are tied, Ardell.
my word is my bond. We arrive at Plaza Potterest, a central square enclosed by 4 high walls. The buildings that face into the plaza are covered in windows reaching up 10, 12 stories. The plaza is empty, save for a municipal carrier that sits at the center that bellows smoke.
All those windows. Plenty of spaces to hide.
Any survivors?
I don't see any. We'll have to get closer.
So many windows.
I volunteer. I'm ready, sister.
That's not happening.
I'm as much a sororitas as a scribe, Liana.
Will your words defend you? I'd rather walk out there as bare as a repentia.
Liana, leave the Melta with Beatrice.
What?
It's too heavy. It'll slow you down.
Read my lips, Ardell. I can fire this thing with my eyes closed.
Give her the Melta.
I'll pray for you.
Don't drop it.
Liana takes her first steps into the plaza. All is silent. Her head is on a swivel, checking each rooftop. Crowds peer from the windows at every angle, and all eyes are on her. She approaches the wreckage, constantly checking her posture and angling her sidearm up at the buildings. Her armor gives little protection from above. It would be a nasty kill. Dishonest.
Damn it.
It's just a blackout. They'll be back on in a few seconds. Keep going! It's not a sign. It's an omen. A bad portent. Beatrice! An invocation.
May he bless the fighters who stand guard against oblivion. May he curse the aim of the traitor, the heretic, the witch. Holy Emperor, preserve and protect our fighters from the powers that would do them harm. Crown us with sight to the dangers on all sides. She made it. Words are the surest armor.
Open it slowly.
Is there anyone inside?
It's empty. Where's the driver?
The distant generators spin back up, and the lights around the plaza return.
Rifle! 6 o'clock, 5th floor!
Liana! Down! A man holds a laser gun, primed on Liana. Go! Go! He spots us and darts inside as we bring our weapons to bear. Beatrice runs around the back while Abigail takes a direct path. She races up the stairs at a full sprint while I race the other side.
He leaped to the next building! 4 blocks east!
Beatrice, 2 blocks east, then south. We are in pursuit. Mud-slicked walls on either side. Could be an ambush. Beatrice comes back around from the other side. We look around.
There! Going over the wall!
He's climbing the compound wall. Beatrice raises her weapon. Warning shot! Warning shot! She fires an arc of fire over his head. He's startled by the blast and lets go, falling back to our side. Abigail comes down off a nearby ladder and lands on top of him, her boot on his throat.
No! Wait!
Would-be murderer,
Lift his shirt. Lift his shirt.
Help! Help!
He's clean.
No cult symbol. No bomb. What were you doing up there?
I was just trying to keep an eye on things.
By pointing a gun at my sister's head. You know what you've wrought. No member of the Creed would
Please,
dare.
I'm afraid. The monsters!
Sisters, we're drawing a crowd.
I turn around and see 24 people approaching. Crowds are pouring out of the buildings. They see us abusing one of their own. It's a bad look for our first day. Let him go.
What? What if he's a cultist?
The citizens are coming faster.
Ardell, they're armed. What do we do?
We are here for your protection!
There's no point picking a fight. We'd win, that's not a question. But what we'd lose standing our ground. I said warning shots only!
They've been warned.
Damn it! Go! Go! We break into a run and race back to the ruined vehicle. I turn around as the crowd surrounds the dead man. We disappear around the corner, and the last thing I see is them huddled around him, their heads hung low. Abigail, what were you thinking?
This is martial law. Anyone caught brandishing a weapon is breaching the Holy Writ.
They're trying to defend themselves.
Then they should stay in their homes.
This war has come to their homes. It's in their bedrooms. It's at their tables.
Get your hands off me! You think to lecture me? This place needs order.
Sisters, where's Liana?
Liana!
Be careful.
Beatrice's warning comes too late. We find Liana against the side of the vehicle.
Liana!
Her eyes have been burst open, and her jaw is slack. Her forehead has been torn open, and the wound runs down the center. Liana, can you hear me?
Ardell, is the generator out? I can't see.
She's alive. God, Emperor, she's still alive. What do we do? She's missing half her face.
Take my hand. It's going
I look
to
at the
be okay.
vehicle.
Listen, we're here.
Painted against
Listen to my
it,
voice.
scrawled in her blood,
You're going to be okay.
is a message.
What? What is that?
The church will not be blamed for nothing. Ave Dominus Nox. They're back. We rush Liana back to the chapel. The pastor's attendants tell us to leave the room. It will be a long operation. Beatrice hasn't said a word since we got back. Abigail hasn't stopped yelling.
We were hunting Heretic Astartes, and you didn't think to tell us? Ave Dominus Nox, we have come for you. That is their creed. Hey, talk to me!
I can't find the words. I take her rage.
It is Night Lords.
The pastor joins us at the front row of pews.
A decade ago, Antiqua Resolve was attacked by a particularly vicious breed of Heretic Astartes.
And when were you going to tell us?
They sought out children, flayed their hands and feet, and scalped them to the bone. Tens of thousands of them. And then they just left.
They just vanished?
Back into the void.
Incredible. You were here during the rape of the city last time.
I was in the Scala Progenium. The orphanage. Yes.
So you didn't bother telling us that the most brutal murderers this side of the galaxy might be here? And you what? You want me to give you some sympathy because they ruined your childhood? We've all seen terrible things. Do you see me dwelling on it? No, this is a cruel, pitiless galaxy. Beatrice is beaten by her father and abandoned at our steps. People out there have lost their children. And Liana, she just lost her bloody eyes!
You left the grounds. I ordered you to stay here. There will be consequences.
Do you know what I've seen? Do you know what I've lost? No, don't go asking me for sympathy or pity or compassion. Go find someone who cares. Hey, what are you doing?
Finding someone who cares.
Ardell, hey! Hey, wait!
Not now, Adrian.
What is going on? We asked for your help and you stampede through the city?
The man had a rifle.
He was one of our militia. I asked him to cover you.
Well, how was I supposed to know that?
Unbelievable. You don't give a damn about any of us. You're just like them.
No! I can't be one of them because I was born here. And you won't let me be a citizen because I was taken in by the church. I'm nothing. I'm nobody.
No, you're supposed to be better than us.
Walking the street, a path unfurls before me, like a memory taking shape. After a decade, I'm back in my old neighborhood, and just as aimless as I was then. I wander, directionless. It's not long before I find it. Or maybe it draws me back in. The Scala Progenium. The orphanage. The walls of the building are cracked beyond repair. Scorch marks. The damage tells the story of a savage beast that ravaged its halls. The truth isn't far off. Shadows contort and bend around the corners as I pass empty dorms, their wooden doors chipped and stained black. The slaughter haunts every room. Down the hall, I see a glowing light beneath a door.
What? Who are you?
I stare at the ghost from my past. I thought you were dead.
Adele?
Uncle.
Here, please eat.
You haven't lived here all these years, have you?
Where else would I have gone? The attacks branded this city. People abandoned their kids for fear of being targeted. Or left them here for fear of losing them in other ways. It didn't feel right, leaving. After the culling, I used whatever influence I had left.
You kept the light burning.
When all lights have gone out, be the flame. The ecclesiarchy. How have they treated you?
As well as one could hope.
I'm sorry. When it all began, I thought it was the best thing for you.
I honestly thought you had been killed.
Almost. But no.
I'm sorry for your loss. To know so many children died here, it's harrowing.
Die? They didn't die. They were taken.
Taken? The traitors don't take prisoners.
No, they don't. They take recruits.
Uncle, the church said all the children were killed.
The traitors can tell things just by looking into your eyes. They can see the depth of your heart. What you fear. They saw my love for the children. Fear of losing them. That's why they let me live. Do you remember the boy who shared your room?
Jacob.
Brilliant child. Would stare at the world and you could see his mind working. Figuring out how to pull its strings. He helped them overthrow this place.
How does a 12-year-old overthrow an orphanage?
Our local chapter had asked us to seek out boys of great promise for them. The pastors went one step further and felt that we could begin to groom them ourselves. They began to teach these boys to go deep into enemy territory, alone. It was to destabilize cults, destroy the enemy's will to fight. That way, when the chapter came, they'd take the boys, and they'd already be prepared for their transformation into...
Astartes.
I guess Jacob took issue with our process. When the Night Lords came, I began to evacuate the orphanage. They attacked everywhere at once. They co-opted the city's speakers and played the screams of their murders. I got several outside, but when I came back, I found the heretics standing out there in the hall. They carried heads like trophies, dangling the scalps of children and men. I raced to find Jacob. I got to his dorm, but they were already there. They stood over Jacob, their black lenses staring into him. This boy, this 12-year-old boy, stood up to them with no fear. That's when he turned to me. He pointed at me, told them to bring me with him. The butchers grabbed me, dragged me as they went room to room, mutilating everyone they found. Jacob walked ahead of them the whole time, choosing which rooms to spare and which to take. Tears were rolling down my face. He only looked back at me once. Once. He just looked at me, and said, I don't think you'll ever forget this. A boy of 12. He understood it. He understood terror. Jacob had summoned the Night Lords. He invited them here. I don't know how. Maybe I left a Vox relay open, or he was a brilliant boy. I don't know how. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. It's my fault.
Uncle. Is he stable? Psychotic?
Does it matter? He clearly became something else. Our faith is meant to raise children who can fight for a better society. What does it say about us? That we've created a galaxy of murderers, opportunists, and sadists.
Where could he be?
I don't know. But I can feel it. He's back. The culling has started again. If we never have children, we can never have a future.
Never reinforce the Imperium. Uncle, why do you think that Jacob hasn't killed the pastor yet?
I don't know.
Ave Dominus Nox. He came for me.
At last. My speech is done. Here, read it, sister. Come.
Yes.
Attendants, we broadcast in minutes. Hurry it up. Sister Abigail, what's the crowd like outside?
The largest yet. There is...
Sister Abigail, what's wrong? What do you see?
Heretic Astartes!
Protect me, fool!
Pastor, this way, into the crypt.
Pray for your corpse, god whelps!
I've got him!
Wait!
No, not now.
The generator.
A real sister of battle. I don't believe it.
Believe it, recreant!
Do you see him?
Stay closer to me.
Up there. Abigail.
Ready your sword.
Stay still! Have you no honor?
Honor? You want to duel? You'll need hands for that!
Abigail!
My sword.
Give it back. That was my mother's.
Really? She took good care of it. How well does it cut? Oh, I think I broke it. Looks like it's somewhere between your 4th and 5th vertebrae.
Night Lord!
I'll be with you in a minute, sister.
Ardell?
Face me now!
The hilt is still sharp. Have you ever seen someone scalped with a broken blade?
Coward!
Coward? We stood against the Emperor without gods by our side!
Left!
What?
Liana, to the left!
Huh?
Liana stands in the doorframe, blinded, but with her melta at the ready. She heeds my calls, listens, aims.
No!
The melta explodes, and a molten chemical blast into his chest. With blazing heat, it sears through his torso. He melts inside his armor. Liana?
I told you. I can do this with my eyes closed.
Beatrice!
I can't move.
Emperor, guide me.
Wait! You can't take it out! You'll paralyze her!
Pray, Beatrice. It's going to be all right.
Behind you!
Another Astartes. The monster's power armor is stronger than mine. I struggle, but it's no use. By the door, a third, clad in heavy armor, a Terminator. He grabs Liana by the hair and...
Scream for me.
The monster gripping me pulls my face to his helm.
When I'm this close to you, what do you see? Do you see darkness? Do you see your corpse god welcoming you to oblivion?
Jacob!
Is that who you see? It's been a long time, Ardell. I see you've dispatched Kalen. You know, it's fitting. Where I found brothers, you found sisters. Do they carry the same value in your heart?
He lifts his wrist-mounted cannon.
Oh, no!
A single explosive shell rams into Abigail's skull. She's dead in an instant.
Monster! Let me...
Go? No. We need you for the final piece. That's why you're here. My brothers wanted to ruin this planet by destroying its future. Isn't that right, Vaxus?
Yes.
But I gave them something better. I promised them I could ruin its broken, decomposing soul.
I look over to Beatrice's broken body. Tears are running down her face.
Beatrice! Kill him!
Don't look at her. She can't help you. She's afraid. She's given in to nothingness. Isn't that right?
Ardell, I can't move.
Pray!
How is your homecoming, Ardell? Is it everything you hoped it'd be?
Apostate!
Don't lecture me with faith. Is the life of one pastor worth more than his congregation outside? He left them all to die, denied them shelter. Hypocrite. Vaxus, go open the front door. The crowds will want to hear this.
Why?
I was groomed for this. Same as you. That's why they put us in the same room. We were both brilliant tacticians, even at that age. It makes sense that you'd wind up with the ecclesiarchy as their weapon. But you see, I've learned a lot about the church, about your sisters. You command great respect. Imagine my surprise when I found out where you'd gone, what you'd become. You have an excellent story.
He drags me through the church pews. My legs kick behind me.
So what I want is simple. I want you to speak into this microphone. Tell them that their city and world are lost.
He holds my head next to the pastor's Vox relay.
It's justice for their hypocrisy, for countless generations of youth consumed by their engine of war. When you admit defeat, the people will turn. They'll burn down their churches, slay their lords, anything to stop the suffering. This world will disintegrate. It was bound to happen.
No. You chose this.
You're lying to yourself. You want to forget what they did to us, sister. Torturing us, making us play their little simulations. Enough. Now, declare this world lost. Tell them you're beaten. Do it.
That?
It's an Astartes.
A heretic. The church has fallen. The Legion has returned. Emperor, no, no.
Father? What is that?
Emma, go. Go!
Father!
Go! Am I supposed to be scared?
Scream for me.
I don't kneel. I don't scream. I'm a man of the people.
Oh, God, please spare us. No, mercy.
What? Don't kneel. Get up. Get up. Lift those rifles.
They're here to stomp us out.
Are none of you going to fight? You see this seal? My daughter got it from a friend. It protects...
Father?
I'm a man of the people.
Father!
This gives me no pleasure, sister. I'm not a sadist. Declare it over.
The Emperor protects.
Stubborn witch.
The world is spinning. He carries me over to one of the stained glass panes.
Not that it matters. When they see you fall, they'll know we've won. Most of this universe is death. The tragedy is that people think that they can stave it off by huddling together in prayer.
Oh, just a broken little boy.
Obstinate to the last, just like your carrion god.
Emperor, demonstrate your authority over souls.
Jacob turns around in disbelief. Fueled by faith and prayer, Beatrice stands.
Mind and body!
She tackles him, her back turned to me when his claw comes down on her shoulders. She strains under his weight and coughs up blood. I know what she's done. I release my hands from Jacob's grip and reach for her. I grab the sword still lodged in her spine and pull. I take the blade into both hands. His eyes widen. He's too close to miss. I stab forward. I begin hacking 6, 7, 8 times, 9. The sword hits wet matter in his skull. He flails, blinded. In his panic, he drops Beatrice and tosses me right through the stained glass window. 1,000 fragments of glass shatter. I'm flying head first into the sky. Rain and mirrors of color reflecting around me. I see blue, and the ground coming up fast. Then, black.
How is she?
I open my eyes and look around the room.
How big was the fall?
I'm surrounded by people.
As I live and breathe.
Craniofacial injuries. 124 foreign objects found in her face. Several shards were driven deeper when she hit the ground. Pelvic fractures. Bilateral limb injuries. Every part of her body has sustained trauma.
Can she hear me?
Adele, you're in the crypts. Can you say something?
Beatrice.
We found her. She's paralyzed.
The people.
They've succumbed to their fear. They're in the thrall of the Legion.
No, this isn't right. I killed him. This can't be happening.
Heart rate is spiking, sister, please.
Jacob!
It's all right, you're safe. We'll find him.
I won. I beat him. In my mind, I killed Jacob. I kill him dozens of times in seconds.
Adele, sit down!
Enough! Everyone is silent. Fear now walks the streets. It haunts the air we breathe. I think of my sisters. What can I do? What hope is there? Most of this galaxy is death. But people huddle together in prayer. I died.
No, we scooped you up before it was too late.
No. I died.
What? What do you mean?
There are few symbols more powerful.
What symbol?
a martyr. The pastor and I know what comes next.
Ardell Main, the ecclesiarchy recognizes your suffering, your honor, the great unpayable debt you had paid in service to the master of mankind.
The words burn his tongue. He loathes this.
Ardell May died in glorious combat against the monsters that sought to destroy our world. Her death, the highest honor a believer can achieve, will be a torch to all of us, a rallying cry to action. Today, we canonize Ardell Main of Antiqua Resolve as a saint.
I can't believe.
A saint?
As I live and breathe.
Ardell.
Jacob was willing to kill for his beliefs. I am willing to die for mine. My name will guide the people out of fear. It will be a movement. It will be their flame.
Turn off the supports.
They're not running.
But then how is she...
The will of the Emperor.
I think of the poor and pitiful. The children, like Emma. I pray this will be enough. It will be. Just enough.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for listening to this production of When All Lights Have Gone Out. This fan-made audio drama is put on as part of an anthology series by Cold Open Stories. Now what we're doing could be called community theater set in the 41st millennium. Each month or so we write a script and then you, the listener, audition to play the parts. It's a great way to build community and share stories worth telling. All levels of experience are welcome, and these are fan productions, so whether you're a writer, actor, or sociopathic child soldier gone rogue, you can check us out on coldopenstories.com. When All Lights Have Gone Out was written and directed by Colin DeGraff, with music composed by Robert Renato Hack. It starred Carrie Schultens, Ellie Diaz, Angelique Lazarus, Carla Mack, Luke Holy, Corvin Reynolds, Jonathan Cox, Christopher Wilson, and Joe Cliff Thompson. Additional voices provided by Jonah Loon, Mike Dent, Morgan Winter, David Kui, Luke Penner, D. QJ, and Steve Ross. Now I'll let you go with one more thing. You know Patreon? We don't have one. We don't want one. The best way that you can help us isn't by donating, but by sharing our stories in your network. Without a cast, all of this isn't possible. So please spread the signal and consider auditioning or writing for our next story.